To my sister, Juanita.
To our mother.
Juanita, this is your life.
I'm Christopher Henson, Kevin Henson's son, and I'm here to do the introduction to the video for Grandma Juanita's 100th birthday celebration. So I want to start out with a couple fun facts as we begin to celebrate and to put into context what a wonderful and amazing and expansive life our grandma, or Juanita, has lived. For context, in 1923, when she was born, the year Calvin Coolidge was the president of the United States and Joseph F. Smith was the prophet. As we begin to celebrate, Grandma had a great family. We're not really sure. She's not 100% sure where the name Juanita came from, but her recollection is that her father named her and did not want her to ever have a nickname. When Grandma was in school, she learned that there was a song that was called Juanita. So maybe not. That's where it originated from. But Grandma was born, or Juanita was born in Florida. She was the last of 5 children born into the family of Susan Doris and Dexter D. Tedder, 2 brothers and 3 sisters. Of note, her father passed away when she was 3, and she and the children were pretty much raised by her mother. So, of Grandma's early childhood, one of probably I think the funny stories is that it's related that Raymond, her oldest brother, when she came to the family, thought that she'd been ordered from the Sears catalog. He was very disappointed because he was looking and expecting a boy, but decided not to send her back and didn't want to send her back. So we're grateful that you weren't sent back to Sears and Roebuck Company, and that you're our grandmother.
Juanita's younger days were full of lively and fun activities, including anything from milking cows with her family, dancing in the school while the teachers weren't looking, as well as joining the debate team where she had to successfully argue that Hawaii was a better place to live, not Florida, even though we all know the truth. Juanita had all kinds of fun, but never skipped school, because that meant her mother would feed her a healthy dose of castor oil. Juanita, we're looking forward to hearing more about your childhood.
When we were young and little girls, you and Mom liked to make paper dolls. What memories do you have about making paper dolls?
Oh, we used to make paper dolls, but we didn't have a real paper doll outfit, so we used catalogs, and we'd cut the paper dolls out of the catalog, and that's what we played paper dolls with. We enjoyed it though. We had shoe boxes that we would push the paper dolls around in for cars. If you wanted me to tell you something else, Juanita, do you remember when we took the little girl down the road and put smut off of the wash tub and rubbed it all over her face? And I will have to say that we took a spanking for that. Juanita, do you remember when we went to the ball and we had to get a pretty dress to wear? It was so much fun, and we each one had a date. We enjoyed each other so much. We both worked for the telephone company also. I guess that's about all I can remember right now.
My name's John Henson. I am the grandchild of Juanita Dorlon, and I am the favorite grandchild. Grandma first fell in love in the 2nd grade. She had a little guy that she really liked. She thought he was cute. Claude Brown was Grandma's first kiss. He was in the National Guard, and she did not have a car, so he made sure that she could drive his car, and he would often leave it with her so that she wouldn't have to take the bus and ride the bus to work with all the sailors. Claude and Grandma were dating at the time, and he had proposed to her. And she would go to work, and a young lad by the name of Wayne came onto the scene. He and her worked together in communications at the naval base. Claude would give Grandma flowers, so Wayne started flower wars and got Grandma 12 dozen yellow roses. I need to make a correction in my story. It was a dozen yellow roses, not 12 dozen. That would be a lot. Thank you. Grandma really had a thing for Navy men. She married 3 of them: Wayne, Claude Ashley, and Dan.
But let's see, let me think. We used to go on a lot of, what they call them, adult conferences, the single adult conferences. And we went to Yahoo Junction one time, down by the church ranch, and Juanita drove the car. She drove, there were several of us that went. I think it was a Cadillac that she had at that time. And we drove down, and she met Dan Dorlon there. And when conference was over, she said, "I'm going to ride home with Dan." And we had to take her car and get everybody around where they were supposed to go and then get home.
So Juanita's life, early after school, she was married during World War II, which was occurring as she was in high school. And as she graduated, the year she graduated, actually Pearl Harbor was bombed. Interesting fact, Grandma did not know, or Juanita did not know where Pearl Harbor was until it got bombed. Most of us know where it is today, but I thought that was a very interesting fact. And so they knew that there was a big impact and a big shift that brothers and siblings would be considering having to join the military at that point. That kind of really kicked off a big change at the home front for America. So because of that, she married Grandpa, or Horace Wayne, when they were very young. Initially, they were stationed in Miami, which is a very beautiful town. They lived in a boarding house, which interestingly had no kitchen. And then they followed on with other subsequent assignments to San Diego and Norfolk. Grandma or Juanita would often stay with her family in Sanford when Wayne was away at sea. And that really precipitated one of her great personalities, which is being frugal and saving, which was really a driving factor for her to always be able to be around family and to travel to meet Wayne whenever he came off of sea duty, wherever that was in the country. And I've heard some stories, across the country from San Diego or Florida, which was a pretty large undertaking even back then. What I thought was also very fun and interesting is that it was kind of a family thing at this time. Everybody was involved, which is kind of a difference from today's society. Both of her brothers joined the Army in World War II. But then Raymond transferred to the Air Force as that split off. And in 1943, she married a sailor. So a very conflicted family, not very loyal to one branch of service over the other. Interesting fact, apparently Grandma dated an Army man as well. No name was given, but apparently she dated an Army man and settled for marrying a sailor. Very interesting and fun there. But anyway, another thing that's interesting there is that it started, they were able to communicate, which is very important. I know in our family we've enjoyed the benefit of email and media like this, like streaming. But back then they created what they called V-mail, a precursor to email, but Victory Mail, where soldiers could send letters for free. They would just write free at the top in lieu of putting postage and stamps. And they would be able to communicate back and forth. And she says that Wayne wrote her every day. However, she didn't always get the mail every day, which I can relate to because I celebrated Christmas in March one time. So it's not a perfect system even now. So I thought that was great. They were able to kind of communicate. And she also shared about some songs that were popular at the time. One of them was "Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree with Anyone Else But Me." There's a good rendition of that if you want on Amazon Prime Music. The Glenn Miller Band and other people have done it. And then there's another version, "You'll Never Walk Alone." So obviously never very far from her mind and many of the other people's minds at the time was the potential risk to their loved ones. But in some of that they were able to solidify some very, very meaningful and dear friendships during their time, specifically in Miami, where there was another young sailor and his wife, Posey and Carolyn Holbrook, who are from Alabama. Roll Tide. I got my shirt on. Anyway, they grew up, they spent time together, and were very, very close for their entire lives. I remember hearing about, Uncle Posey and Aunt Carolyn, and I just thought we were related to them. I wasn't until I was almost an adult that I realized that they were just really, really good, close friends. They even named their daughter Juanita, and she shares memories, and so that's been a very powerful and meaningful relationship for many, many years. It's important relationships that we're enduring.
Hi, Aunt Juanita. It's Juanita. I just wanted to wish you happy 100th birthday. Archie and I are here, and we just wanted to just call and let you know we're thinking of you and caring about you and hoping you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful day. I had a little memory that I'd shared with you not long ago I'd like to share with everybody else. Oh, back when I was about 8 years old, we came to Norfolk, Virginia, and was visiting, and this is funny, but they had a toaster on the table that I loved to make toast out of. So every day I'd sneak in there and probably get a dozen pieces of toast and eat. And boy, I enjoyed that toast so much, and I thought I was sneaking it and getting away with it. But anyway, then found out Aunt Juanita still got the toaster today, and it still works. But anyway, that's just one of my memories of being with Aunt Juanita and sharing life with her. And I just wish her a happy birthday and just hope she has many more. Aunt Juanita, this is Linda and John.
Hey, Aunt Juanita.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday in February.
Yeah. I had a memory that I wanted to share, and it was in 1979, and we were visiting down there. We brought John and Brian with us. Being at your house gave us a great opportunity to take John and Brian to Disney World, and probably wouldn't have been able to do anything like that without your hospitality and sharing everything with us. But it was a great visit and a great time that, John and Brian got to meet you. It's just something that has always, always stayed in my memory, and I love you so much. Happy birthday.
Hey, Aunt Juanita, this is Stephen and Liz.
Hello.
We want to wish you a happy 100th birthday, and hope you have many, many more. And we love you.
Happy birthday.
Hi, I'm Samantha, the eldest of all the grandchildren. One of the greatest things that I think that Grandma has done is open up her heart and made adoption for both my uncle and my dad. I was told that the reason why that my grandma adopted my dad is because there was a woman who died during giving birth, and she lived down the street from my grandma, and she opened up her heart and her door to my dad. Grandma told me that a doctor made a house call to their neighbor's house, and Grandma and Grandpa had their door open, and the doctor was aware that they were looking for a baby. And boom, bada bang, Kevin came into the Henson family.
I'm Melinda. I was married to George for a few years, and I really loved him. He was a gentle and kind person, and he always was ready to laugh and have fun. And he taught me how to fish, and not only that, but how to clean the fish and therefore get it into a skillet and have a delicious dinner.
As a child, all you really know is that you're loved, you're cared for, and you're provided for. And, those are the basic things. But as you get older and you begin to understand adoption, and you realize what it means of a commitment, a dedication, and a love, to have someone invite you into their life and into their family, and that they want you there. And then at some point as an adult, I consciously adopted Mom as my mother, and hope that in some degree, the love, the commitment, and the dedication has been returned in some degree. So, love you, Mom.
Hi, I'm Catherine Henson. I'm Juanita's granddaughter. Grandma went back to school in 1964 to get her nursing degree, and Kevin was in 4th grade. She graduated in 1967 with her nursing degree, and when she took her boards, she was most concerned that she wouldn't pass because she was having a hard time thinking because the fellow next to her was smoking a really stinky cigarette. She had 5 parts to her nursing boards, and she passed all 5 on the first time.
My name is Pam Howard, and I was asked by Juanita's loving family to speak for just a minute about our attending nursing training back in the 60s in Lake City, Florida. Juanita was actually in the nursing classes with my sister Pat, who has since passed away. But I believe Juanita started in 1965 and I started in 66, so we were only a year apart in school. At the time that we went, the name of the school was Lake City Community College and Forest Ranger School. And that was kind of a funny name because you don't hear Forest Ranger School added on to junior colleges very often, because it was rare in the nation, actually. It was one of the few schools that did train in that area, so they tacked it on to the name of the school. I believe the name of the school is now Florida Gateway College. We were in the nursing program, and of course, it was known as one of the best in the state because they had a very good reputation of their graduates passing the Florida State Board of Nursing licensure examination on the first attempt. I guess if I had to think back, the biggest thing that always was on our mind, that was always hanging over our head, was what are we going to do? What's going to happen if we don't pass our boards? Back in the day, you would go and take your test, and you had to wait weeks and weeks to receive a letter in the mail. And then you had to get up the courage to open the letter and see if you passed. You know, nursing has been a wonderful career for Juanita and myself and my sisters. And it's been a profession of caring for others. It's a profession I think we all love dearly. I do want to wish Juanita a very, very happy 100th birthday. That's just amazing. And congratulations, Juanita.
One of my greatest memories were the times when I went to Florida and I got to see all my extended family.
Happy birthday, Aunt Juanita. This is Blaine and Harper.
Hi.
Who is now almost, how old?
16.
Oh my gosh.
16.
We just wanted to say happy birthday to you. It's so exciting that you're turning 100. That's amazing. And just wanted to tell you how wonderful it was to talk to you and get to see you a couple months ago at Mary's funeral and just be able to spend some time with you. And hopefully we'll get to come down and see you soon, or go up to see you soon if you're in Minnesota. But anyway, we love you, or Michigan, I can't remember. Anyway, Blaine loves you, Harper loves you. Happy birthday. Have a great one.
All right, bye.
Hey everybody, it's Sandy, the firstborn of Mary Frances, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorite memories of growing up with Aunt Juanita, and that would be getting to go over to her house and swim in the pool, and sometimes she would break out the old ice cream churn, and we would have homemade ice cream. Usually it was vanilla, and usually it was with fruit of some kind, strawberries, bananas, whatever, or both. But it was always so tedious to wait for the ice cream, but it was always so worth it. It was delicious, probably because it was made with love. Anyway, happy birthday, Aunt Juanita. I love you. I can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.
Grandma has always been, her and her 2 sisters, as like 3 peas in a pod. If it was one thing or another, they always were doing for each other. And it was really nice to see their bond throughout the years.
Hi, I'm supposed to tell the story about coming to Juanita and Cora's house, and Kathleen was there, and I come in, and they're all watching TV and applying Pepto-Bismol to their faces. So they all sat there with little pink faces, and they kept dabbing the Pepto-Bismol with cotton balls and reapplying because they had learned that it helped shrink your pores or something. But they all just sat there with pink faces. It was hilarious.
Very, very important to Juanita's life is her testimony of Christ and the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it's been a central focus of her life and has impacted many, many people's lives over many generations in our family especially. So what's interesting is that she was baptized at a pretty young age, 13. And at that time in southern Florida, there really was not a very structured, organized church with large congregations. So it was kind of like small families here or there, but she was baptized at the age of 13 in rural Florida in a creek at the time. So very kind of primitive surroundings, but I'm sure it was very special. She's been very engaged and faithful to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and her membership throughout her life. But what was really impactful for her, she related that one of the reasons that she was baptized at the age of 13 was the message that was shared with her and the testimony that she has of the importance of the temples, of tithing, paying tithing, and the word of wisdom and the impact that that's had on her life.
So since you're turning 100 years old, we're proud and we want to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Juanita. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
As I go back as a kid, I knew Juanita and I knew Kevin, and we interacted. All the social functions was fun, and occasionally I remember going over to the house, but it was not like we thought about, somebody's testimony or somebody's whatever. It was good folk. It was good people, and I always enjoyed that, and it was like a steadiness.
She was the first person really that I met in Sanford, Florida, when I went to church there. The problem was she lived one way from church and I lived the other way from church, so we never could get together during the week because they were too far apart. The funniest thing that I can think of about what we used to do was we had 2 sessions. We go in the morning to Sunday school and then we go at night to sacrament meeting. And after sacrament meeting was over, we'd stand outside the church and talk and talk and talk and talk until Rick would get behind me and start pushing me towards our car, and Kevin would get behind Juanita and start pushing her towards her car. That's pretty much the way we get home after sacrament meeting. Oh, I know another thing that I could think about with Juanita is I never asked her to be in the choir. In fact, she was one that I paid not to be in the choir. Well, that's the way it is.
Grandma Dorlon loved working in the temple. She worked in the Atlanta temple, the Orlando temple, and used to collect pictures of all the temples that she'd been to until there were too many to put on the wall.
Well, we used to go on the bus to the temple. We'd start from Orlando on a Sunday night, ride all night on the bus and get up to the temple. The next day we would go to the temple. They serve us breakfast at 7 in the morning, and then we would start doing temple sessions after that. And we'd try to get in as many as we could every day. And sometimes we'd have to do a French session to get all the sessions in that we wanted to get in that day. But when we go through these sessions, we had to show our temple recommends at that time to go each time. People thought we were sisters because we were both tall, we were both dark, and we looked at each other and we said, yes, we are. I think we knew each other very well up in heaven.
Juanita serves 3 missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. 1 employment mission, as well as 2 international missions, one in Liberia, where she was one of the first missionaries ever, as well as a mission in England. These were fun and challenging times where she had a lot of opportunity and a lot of excitement to share the gospel. We've got a special treat where we're going to hear from some of those friends from the days in Liberia.
Happy birthday, Juanita. We're happy to renew our acquaintance with you again. First, we met in August of 1989 when we were first assigned to Liberia. And we met you and your husband.
And Mitchells and the Stums and is that all?
Bodells.
Oh, Bodells, yeah.
And President and Sister Cunningham. And we were happy to have that short acquaintance with you. We didn't meet you again until 2007 when we were down in Florida on vacation and we stopped by to see you. Anyway, we're happy to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Juanita. Happy birthday to you. Whoops.
I can't remember when Juanita was on her mission, but we always thought that was so cool. And then later, as I was home teaching, we had opportunities to talk about her mission, things that they did, scary times and fun times and all this other kind of stuff. And it was awesome. And that she finally ended up in England, I guess in London for a period of time was pretty cool too, because we had some common ground. We were very familiar with the London Temple.
Hi, I'm Denny Henson, Kevin's wife, and invariably as we travel around town, as I travel around town with Mom, people have 2 reactions when they find out that she is 100 years old. First of all, they say, "Oh my gosh, you don't look like you're 100 years old." And then the second question that follows quickly on its heels is, "So what's your secret to a long life?" So we thought this section of the video would be fun to show you some of the things and the reasons that we think Mom has had such a long and fun life. One of the things for sure is we know that she just yesterday even shared with a gentleman, "I've always lived the word of wisdom." And Mom has taken very good care of her body. She takes her exercises every morning before she gets out of bed. And if you really want to know her secret, it's bran buds. She eats them faithfully every day and refuses to miss. Mom has always been mindful of her appearance, and she has the most perfect hair anyone would ever want to have, especially at age 100. Mom enjoys being around friends and family, and this next section of our video will show you some fun things she's been doing with people and also some firsts that she's done in her life.
When I got my scooter and brought it over to show it off, Juanita was the first one to say, "Hey, I've been riding a 3-wheeler for a while. Can I get on the 2-wheeler?" Well, there she is. Her and her scooter, back in the old days, just like it used to be. Enjoy your birthday, Juanita.
At a very elderly age, Mom has embraced technology, and she loves her iPad. She's getting to know more how to use her phone, but as a funny note, the other day I had to delete over 136 pictures because Mom was trying to take her first selfie.
Hi, Juanita. You are one of the luckiest ladies when it comes to playing skip-bo. I enjoy playing with you and giving you hints when you forget to play a card. I'm going to keep trying to beat you, though, just because I have so much fun playing with you. I love you, and happy 100th birthday, Juanita.
Other people have just, I don't keep in touch with, but Juanita and I have kept in touch. It's special. We're going to be up there together. She may get there before me, but not much before me. And she'll be there or I'll be there, and we'll pull each other up, whichever we have to do. I love her. I love Juanita very, very much. She's just a Florida cracker. I don't know what else to call her.
So, if you want to look as good as Mom does at 100 years old, the secrets of a happy and a long life are: take care of yourself, eat bran buds, and be up for any adventure that comes your way.